Small businesses, the driving force behind the American economy, continue to face unprecedented challenges as new COVID hotspots emerge through July. Small business job growth slowed. Joining us right now with the numbers and help us sort of break down what's really happening in America, Paychex's Small Business Employment Watch, Marty Musi, CEO of Paychex. Marty, it's always great to see you, but let's talk about these numbers because some of them are not so great. And as we now hit this month, and a big debate over whether there's going to be more stimulus or not and what's going to happen and how that's going to impact things. Want to understand where we really are. So help us. Break down some of the numbers.
Yeah, Andrew, as you said, expected with some of the shutdowns, we saw the July jobs index drop slowly about 0.24%, puts us back to about April, where we saw the big drop from March to April. So we're kind of flat over the last 3 months now. Some of the good news is hours worked were up. So on an annualized basis would be up about 9%. So those employees that are there are working more hours. That shows the demand. And you're seeing that both the South and the West dropped the most, as you'd expect with some of these closures. The South's still number one, though, in job growth. And Florida's still number one in job growth. And you're seeing construction really is the one that's pulling Florida along. And because, when you think about new home sales, they're up 14%. New single home sales up 14% over last July around the same time here.
How much do you think any of this or some of this is driven by the unemployment stimulus checks that American families have been getting, and what happens when they go away?
Well, I think that certainly helped in June, and now July. I think that's been part of where they're not spending as much. I think the biggest problem with small businesses right now, the biggest issue for them is uncertainty. You've talked about it a lot. There's a lot of uncertainty about the PPP loans. They really need more loans, more flexibility. You're going to hear it from Howard Schultz in the letter that the CEO signed. They need more loans and the flexibility of how they use the loan funds and when they pay it back. There's also another piece of uncertainty that hasn't been talked about a lot. We're hearing from clients that there's shortages in the supply chain. So whether it's appliances, if you're appliance repair, or if you're building decks or you're doing other things like that as a small business, you can't get a lot of the materials because the factories had shut down in March and April, and they're backed up. So even when they have demand, sometimes they can't get the supplies to actually fuel their business.
Do you have any visibility into the checks that are going out, whether those checks are coming off of PPP loans and whether those companies anticipate or expecting them to be forgiven or need them to be forgiven to stay effectively in business?
Well, we do, and we've helped actually put out over $28 billion in loans with the support we've given our clients and through fintech loan providers and the banks. And so we do see that. I think a lot of it is really important that it is forgiven because they still don't have the demand. We've had a small percentage of our businesses, our clients have gone suspended. About 50% of those now have started paying again. So that's good news. And so we need to see more of that. But I think they're really looking for more loans. They're not at a point where they can survive, many small businesses, without the loans. But I think that's going to happen. It's just a matter of working it out.